Mark Tremonti from Creed on the phone. How you doing, brother?
Good. How about yourself?
I am doing fantastic, man. It's an honor to talk to you. I have been a fan since I first heard My Own Prison back in '97 come out, and I was on the radio back then, too, and I was like, this band's going places.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Let's start right now, first of all, with something very cool that you are working on. It's an awesome event you got coming up, your celebrity charity golf event for the National Down Syndrome Society.
Yes, sir. We're excited. This is the first year, and hopefully it just continues year after year, and we raise a lot of money for a good cause.
Yeah, you absolutely do, and it's going down at Champions Gate near Disney World. So what kind of celebrities do you have lined up joining you out on the links?
Well, we got all of the Creed guys out there. We got all the guys from the band Tonic, and we have some, ESPN commentators and golfers and baseball players, and there's a lot of guys come in last minute, so we'll never know until we get there, to be honest with you.
You guys, is this open to the public as well? Can they come at least watch the thing, or can they take part somehow?
Well, we're doing a concert, which is going to be limited just because of space. We're doing it indoors, and I think there's only about 300 people that can fit in that main room. I don't know if there's still tickets available. I think people can check it out online. But as far as the golf tournament itself, I think the more the merrier.
Oh, fantastic. And you have a whole bunch of info, and I'll share links with that on your Tremonti Sings Sinatra website, which brings me to another thing. Holy cow, I had no idea you had pipes like that, man.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. It's been a very, very fun, satisfying project, and I can't wait to get on stage the next time.
What inspired you to do an entire Sinatra set other than just your love for the guy? Because honestly, if somebody said, hey, Mark Tremonti has a whole concert where he goes out and does Sinatra, I'd be like, shut the hell up. It never would have crossed my mind, but it's such an amazing thing to watch you sing up there with the suit and everything. So what was the inspiration behind that?
Once my daughter was diagnosed with Down syndrome, I had the idea of doing a Sinatra tribute record to raise money and awareness for Down syndrome. And he was, I think, something that's not spoken about a lot is the fact that he helped to raise over $1 billion for charity. So it's an honor to be able to do it in his name and kind of share that knowledge with everybody that he was a huge philanthropist.
And I'll share some videos, links in that too, because honestly, if people haven't seen you sing the Sinatra stuff, it really is amazing to watch you belt those out. And again, for charity, even a better thing. So thank you for all that you're doing for the Down Syndrome Foundation. That's freaking awesome, man.
Well, thank you. It's been an honor and probably the most satisfying thing I've ever gotten to do.
Now, I've been a fan since My Own Prison came out on Wind Up, and I even begged and pleaded for a platinum My Own Prison plaque, which I do have hanging on the wall that Stapp has signed backstage at a show once. So now I need to get you and Flip and Brian's autographs on there too one day. You think we can make that happen?
You got it. Anytime you're around, bring it. I'd be honored to sign it.
I will definitely run back there. I'm not going to make it on the cruises, though, because not amazingly, but they both sold out. You just got back from week 1. You're about to go out on week 2. What do you and the guys in the band do on these cruises? Because most of the boat is filled with your fans, so it's not like you can enjoy that much of a vacation time off because everybody's there for you. So what do you guys do to have some fun on these?
They set us up with a pretty nice little area where if we want to chill, we can get some food. There's an area called the Haven where there's a little pool and food for all the bands. But then most of the time I'm walking around. I'm doing I do a painting course with my buddy Tim Gagne, where I think it's about 50 people get in there and paint a guitar with some palm trees and the beach and everything that everybody can take home. And then Scott Phillips does a flip cup challenge where we all get out there and race to see who can drink the least and win the most. And and Brian Marshall does a pick flicking contest that I got my kids into, and there's all kinds of stuff. I host a karaoke night. There's a huge crowd for that. Me and Brad Arnold got up there and sang some songs with about 10 of the folks on the boat, and these folks were incredible.
On the summer of '99 tour that you guys are going out, you're going to have different bands on different spots. I don't think everybody's making every show, but Tonic and Three Doors Down. Is it the same bands on both weeks of the cruises, or did those split up a little bit?
Three Doors Down was on the first cruise, and now Daughtry will be taking their spot on the second cruise. But all the other bands will still be. First cruise will be the same as the second.
And you and the guys in Three Doors Down and Daughtry, obviously, you've all been friends for a really long time, haven't you?
Absolutely. We must have done hundreds of shows with Three Doors Down back in the day, and I've toured with Chris a lot on my solo band, Tremonti, so he's been nice enough to let me go out there and support him tour.
That's pretty amazing. And I'm really digging Chris's new track, which obviously was really personal to him with, the tragedies in his life. So a lot of power to that guy. He's making it through, and it's awesome to see everything he's doing with what he's had to go through.
No, he's immensely talented and just a wonderful person. So I wish him all the success in the world.
Let's go back real quick to My Own Prison again, mainly because that was your demo album before it was noticed by Wind Up Records, and the guy who ran the bar that you guys had started playing in helped you record that. Did you have to re-record everything when Wind Up signed you, or were there stuff that you kept from the original demo?
All we did was we did a remix of the record, and it's funny enough that probably the most sought-after disc is the one for the remix. Those are kind of the most collectible Creed CDs out there. I forget what we called them, but it has a different logo. It has a different Creed logo on there, and it was mixed by John Kurzweg, and the one that we did with the record label was mixed by Ron St. Germain.
That's cool. Have you noticed, when you guys are in a band like Creed that gets to the huge level of success that you've had, a lot of people like to put stuff out on the internet that's meme-wise. Have you seen the one that's the sunflower blowing in the wind with Scott singing along to, I think, 6 Feet Under?
I have not.
Oh, you got to watch it. It's hilarious. It looks like a flowered version of Scott from the videos with the wind blowing through the hair. I didn't know if you'd seen all of those. It's really awesome, or how you guys take these things, because there's some great memes out there with Creed stuff for sure.
No, we definitely embrace the memes. You can't fight the memes. You just got to embrace it. You got to be happy that people are playing your music, and it's bringing people out to shows. So we're happy.
Yeah, and they're talking about you, and that's what matters, right?
Absolutely.
After two fairly lengthy breakups, what was the catalyst for this reunion tour and the cruises? What got you guys back together?
We were trying to get this back together about 3 years ago, right before COVID hit, and so it kind of tailed things till now. But it's always something in the back of our minds. Every time we get going and we're doing promotions for new projects, everybody always asks about new Creed music, new Creed tours, and it's just. It would be a shame not to get out there and continue to do it. So I think just enough time has passed where people are dying to see Creed again, and we're very excited about it.
And I'm assuming with all those years gone by, there are a lot of Creed songs in your back pocket waiting to see the light of day, probably.
Last time we got together, I had put together almost another record, but it's just kind of sitting there on my laptop waiting to be dug back into. But I think, honestly, if we wrote some new music, we could do better than that, and we'll kind of see what happens.
Being a bit of a guitar player myself, I always like to talk guitars and gear. You and both Miles are PRS artists, and we'll get into that in a second, but your manager just did one of the coolest things anybody could do for any human out there. You want to share that story with everybody?
Yeah, so when I was touring one of the very first Creed tours back in '97, we did a show in Boston, and we had a trailer with all of our gear in a van. Back in the day, this was way before we could get on a tour bus. And when we got out of the hotel, all we found by the side of the road was a lock popped out on the corner. The van was gone. And then Scott Phillips, our drummer, grabbed the key, put it in the lock, and sure enough, our van with the trailer got stolen, and all our gear along with it. And in there was my guitar that I grew up on, my very first real playable guitar that I ever owned, and yeah, I loved it. I babied it, and Tim, my manager, got on Reddit somehow or some kind of bulletin board and found somebody talking about the history of this guitar, how they found it in a pawn shop in Boston right around the year it was stolen, and his brother, I think, had passed away, the brother who had bought it, and he was now selling it. And it's the guitar. I got it in my hands. Right before my 50th birthday, he presented it to me, and it blew me away. And it's just great to have it back. I couldn't believe it.
I noticed it's a Les Paul as well, and just like myself, you're a Les Paul fan. Even your PRS models have sort of a Les Paul similar body style to them.
Yeah, they're single cuts. I got very used to the weight of a Les Paul, and when my signature model with PRS, we just kept on going back and forth with the feel and the neck carves and everything, and we made it our own thing. We wanted to make different enough where it wasn't just a replica of a Les Paul. It's its own thing, but it's definitely fashioned after the style of a Les Paul because it's a single cutaway.
All right, Mark, thank you so much for your time today. You've got May 2nd and 3rd, the National Down Syndrome Society Celebrity Golf thing going on at Champions Gate. And, of course, week 2 of the cruise and the Summer of '99 tour is heading out all the way across America. Hopefully, I will be seeing you when you guys roll through Florida, and maybe I can get that plaque signed when you come in.
I would love that. Come out and see us.